Can we just
Can you not hear me?
Can we just can we just do that again? So let me ask the question.
Yeah, make that funny face again, Mark.
What do you want me to repeat again about 2024?
Anyway, so I was saying Elon Musk has tweeted LFG 2024, let's freaking go, to put it politely. And yeah, all for that. It's going to be a year that can't but bring significant action and events and changes. It can't but happen. You know, it's like, it's not that there needs to be a full resolution. It's not that everything gets sorted or the world is now fair and just, but there is certainly going to be change, and it'll be good and bad, and hopefully at the end of it, and I expect so at the end of it, it is going to be for the better, even though if it's a little bit scarier because there's so much change there. But wow, there is change coming this year. That's guaranteed. Big change.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees. But I mean that's the whole thing. It's but it's the battle's still out there. It's going to be both sides going at it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, yes, we know we won. Yes, the light has won, but it's like it doesn't mean that there's not going to be the 3D battle going on for forever. For the few years.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. That's out there in the macro and the collective. There's going to be all that change, and then each of us individually, we're all on our own path and journey of shining more light, being more compassionate, being more creative, making a difference, being brave, saying no, saying fuck off to what needs to be told at. So it'll be interesting.
Myself on mute so that I don't say anything.
Right. Anyway, there you are.
That's a joke, by the way. So, Dennis, and Ruhan and Mark, not everyone is here tonight. I'm assuming because I'm guessing because it's the 1st of January. And so there's a few people not here. And Michael and Marianne are not here, bless them. They're normally here, so they're very missed. So, and Daniel as well. Daniel Eubanks is not here. But I'm hoping they're having a good time somewhere. So one of my questions is, and Dennis, I hope you're open to doing this. And all of you guys, Mark and Ruhan. But one of my questions is, what is going on in the world? I don't watch the news, and I probably should. And I don't read the papers. So a lot of the time I don't know, like I'm a channel for the Pleiadians, and I don't really follow other channelers except sometimes for what is his name, Dennis? Dennis, what's his name? Except sometimes for Cryon, thanks. So what is going on in the world? Like, I'll just go around the circle and see who wants to go into that. Anyone?
Okay, I don't really have an answer to that right now. Very big question.
What's going on in Dublin, in your vicinity?
Well, I'd say I encourage people to listen to the news. You know, everyone's don't listen to the news, turn off the news, you know. I recommend it. You know, I think it's useful to see what are the lies being told to people.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you.
Yeah, it's just you know, and I'm that's where I am with it. It's like whatever we're being told, it's a lie. That's just these are the good guys. Ah, they're the bad guys, you know. These guys are winning. Ah, these guys are losing. Ah, this is good for you. Ah, so that's bad for me. It's like it's just I find there's almost no truth in it. So it is interesting just to see the messaging. Although I must admit, like I obviously I don't listen to it very frequently because after a while it does make me blood bubble a little just to see that amount of deceit and propaganda
What?
and just
With what?
with everything, you
There's no
know,
specific.
like with what the anchors and the broadcasters are saying behind their desks with fancy lights and the rest of it behind them, you know.
What are they
Uh,
saying?
oh, they'll say, oh, there's now a new strain of the flu, and there is this new thing to help combat it. And, you know, I go, well, so that's the new thing to make people sicker, you know, and they say these guys are good and they're winning. And I go, oh, so they're the bad guys and they're losing. It's like they tell no fucking truth. You know, it's, you know, Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, and his whole cabinet, they'll stand up there on and their ambassadors, they'll tell people, well, we're involved in a battle for justice and right, and we're freeing the Palestinians from Hamas. I mean, it all sounds beautiful. There they are, freeing the Palestinians from Hamas. Beautiful, well done. You know, lies, lies, lies. It's remarkable.
Mark, your face says it all.
Yeah, no, I was getting changed. Anyway,
Then
I'm gonna get back on my computer. So at one moment I will sign off and sign back on. So just so you know.
okay.
Okay.
I'll be able to hang out for about a half an hour, and then I may listen in on the car, but yeah, because in a half an hour we're heading out to our friend's place.
Lovely.
But I'm glad I was able to chat a little bit. I'm glad you met Preston. He's so cool. He loves Dennis's accent. He's like, oh, that's an Irish accent.
Yeah, that's the Cork Irish accent.
Ah, yes, of course, because I'm sure they're different all over the place.
Yeah, very
Very
different.
much.
Yeah.
For a small island, it's remarkable the amount of different sounds there are to the spoken English, you know, be called, some might
That is
refer to it
interesting.
as dialects, but it's just very different accents. Yeah. North, south, east, west, center, all very different accents.
Mm.
Hmm.
So, so Soma, what accent is yours then?
English.
Ah, okay. So she's just hanging out in Ireland.
Hmm.
So you could say half Irish with an English accent.
Yeah. You know, I don't know, and if you guys are familiar with Whitney Webb, she
Yes.
does. I mean, she's a really good researcher, and she just basically says that, like, literally every government, and especially in the United States, that we're basically a fascist government right now. That the government's totally in bed with all the corporations, you know, on and through the intelligence community, and so it's just really interesting to see because, you know, I love everyone's like, trust the military. I've been hearing that for 3 years. Trust the military. I'm like, what does that mean when there's a huge portion of the military that is like not trustworthy, right? So I'm gonna take a moment and I'm gonna switch over to my computer.
Okay.
So I'm gonna turn this off.
Yeah, Whitney Webb, she's very good. And she's kind of trust no news, programming, no celebrity, no politician, no matter what party, which is not a bad starting point. And she gives plenty of reasons not to trust Elon Musk either. And she makes very good points for it.
What points, what reasons does she give?
Oh, I'll send you, you know, a link on it, but she's pointing out that Elon has invested a lot of money into implanting chips into human, you know, plan to implant chips in human skulls. They've already done tests on animals. There are reports that that wasn't so successful. There were quite a number of animals that died. I suppose that's to be expected. But the plan is to put them into people. And that's, of course, is a move towards transhumanism and being able to link minds to cloud. And of course, it's being presented as a way of being able to help paralyzed or paraplegic people or blind people and such, to be able to augment them so as they're able to walk and they can see and they can hear. And
That's a fair point. I can see benefit in that. But
yeah,
but I can also see where that's going.
Yeah, I mean, that's the selling point. You know, the globalists want that in everyone. And to be able to control that, to control the content that we're receiving, and perhaps control our functioning or actions. So it is a slippery slope. And then, you know, Elon Musk, so much of his income and revenues is connected with government and military. He has contracts with big government, big banks, with military for space exploration and that whole area, and he's being funded fantastically. So there's very close cooperation there. So that is something that is questionable on his motives. And then, of course, there's also an interest that Musk has to, which he's spoken of being able to introduce some kind of digital payments system on Twitter. And so as it, have it as an exchange for transactions. And so such a step, if he were to succeed in doing it, would probably make Twitter the prominent and number one platform, social platform, financial platform on the planet. And you have that kind of system in China, where they have one app. Is it called WeChat, or I don't know? There's a Chinese.
WeChat.
Yes. And that has a complete monopoly in China and is completely government controlled, and that's tied in with their social credit system, whereby everyone is tracked with what they're doing online, what data they're receiving, what they're communicating, with face tracking cameras that they have in the cities. If someone jailwalks, they lose points in their social credit system, and then that means they lose certain liberties or freedoms or rights, so they can't travel outside their state, or they can't travel outside the country, or they're not able to go on the train, or they don't receive benefits from the state. And this is a system that globalists absolutely love and wish to, and that's something that WEF want to implement with their 15-minute cities, and you will owe nothing and be happy and eat the bugs. And there's that level of control. So we're all digitally ID'd. All our money is central bank digital currency. And so the government sees every transaction that we have, and then government and big tech are able to put in any controls they want on people. It's easy to censor them, because if they're doing something that the government doesn't like, then this can affect their health benefits, social welfare, their ability to travel. The government can curtail their what they can spend on anything, on telecom, on travel, on food, for global warming program. Oh, you've used too many credits on electricity, or you've lost credits because you shared some anti-government communications. So now you've lost credit, so your carbon allowance is lowered. So you're now not able to use your computer. You're not able to turn on the heating. Complete control environment. Are we going to get there? Well, if all goes sideways and to shit, yes, but I am hoping that there are that the collective will come to some greater awareness and stand up and object to the minority who are bringing in these controls. So people who believe in global warming they've bought a lie. They've bought a lie, which is, it's like there may be global warming, but there isn't evidence that man has caused that. Carbon isn't an environmental concern. Once upon a time,
just say something, Dennis.
No, let me finish this. Once upon a time, the Green parties were putting forward a very valuable message into the political sphere and representing the good of people by speaking out on how communities and countries need to be conscientious about pollution, about wasting resources, importance of recycling, and such messages. And now those important messages have all been put aside, and it's about carbon. And carbon dioxide is completely necessary for human life and successful growth of plants and food. So the whole thing has gone weird.
I wanted to say there that Greg Braden, who is just an amazing guy, who is a scientist based in America, who I'm sure everyone has heard of him here, and most people have heard of him, but he does explain a lot about global warming. So anyone listening to what Dennis was saying, and Michael Lewis as well would be maybe interested in watching some of what Greg Braden talks about. Does anyone else want to add anything to global warming?
One thing that I know about global warming is all the models that, all the scientific papers, especially like what Dennis spoke about, like the main people pushing the narratives, they don't include the magnetic field of the planet. And with the magnetic field weakening, obviously it takes more impact from the sun, and that causes a lot of environmental change. That's why you get storms, the earthquakes is 100% the sun's doing, and the whole shifting dynamics. So yeah, one thing I know is that all of them discount the magnetic field, which is the key indicator. So yeah.
Yeah, it is a new church. The whole climate mongering, which and it just follows the model of church and cult, and it ignores science, demands belief, demands fear, and is used to control people.
Yeah, and also the carbon, I think that they're talking about is the physical humans, because we are carbon based as well. So I think that's also a underlying factor that they trying to push.
Yeah, they're trying to get us off meat by saying that the cows are creating too much carbon. I mean, silly things like this at this point. And actually the whole total CO2 on the earth has been falling anyway, supposedly. And, you know, the models that do talk about CO2 say that it's only like 10% of what causes changes in the climate. You know, it's very little compared to the sun and the magnetic shifts. So yeah. Suspicious Observers is a really good YouTube channel to watch, and he does a little report every day about the sun weather, and then reviews research. He's super smart, and you'll learn a lot just by watching. It's only like 2 or 3 minutes a day. Highly recommend it.
I also second that.
I'm going to do a little recap, unless anyone wants to share anything else before I do it.
Go ahead.
And I might even go into a little bit of a channeling. So one of the things that the Pleiadians talk a lot about is language, and how our language has been interfered with, and we have such a small proportion of what we used to have in words. You know, we're very limited with the English language, with any language. You know, I'm only saying English because I speak English, but language has been really interfered with hugely. And I know that Ruhan has mentioned this before, but language was born from sound. And that was another whole other teaching I had from the Pleiadians, that Ruhan seems to be like, I feel without having really spoken to Ruhan about it, because I know we have a little bit, but I have this sense with Ruhan that we've had the same teaching about language from the Pleiades, from the Pleiadians. So anyway, one of the things they said to me this morning, I mean, I got a download today, but one of the things they said to me kind of casually was, and it's very simple, but, and sorry, forgive me, I'm kind of half channeling here, but the words, so previously they showed me ridiculous and ridicule us. So that's a very, when they showed me that, they said at the time, I think it was in their recording, they did say that that is a prime example of how our language has been interfered with. Ridiculous and ridicule us. And today what I got was halo and hello, and then hell and hello, which I know it might seem such a small thing, and petty is the wrong word, but it seems like it's insignificant. But then when you look at it, it's like, it's so obvious that, you know, and it also with ridiculous and ridicule us, you know, I think sometimes there's more meaning behind that. What do you guys think of that? Because as I'm saying it, I'm seeing that a lot of people won't get that at all, and that it means nothing. Halo and hello and hell and hello, you know, with either with an E or with an A.
So I would agree with what you're saying. I mean, even the things of, you know, when a police officer says, "Do you understand?" What you're saying is, "I'm standing under you," not that I actually comprehend what you're saying. And so, yes, the language is, you know, the language is a maritime language, and it's also a, you know, it's a spell language, right? It's spelling, it's spell, spelling, it's making spells. So yeah, I think the more we're aware of it, you know, and I think the more we're just aware of it, we remove that spell from it by just being aware of that. And I think the more we can be aware of all sorts of ways in which language is a spell, I think the better for us. And just more awareness of it. And it's not I do agree, it's not benign. I think we have to be careful. And language is difficult. Semantics is challenging. It makes it highly challenging to explain things from one person to another. Because if your interpretation of a word, or your interpretation culturally of a phrase or a way of being, that in itself there's so much unwritten, you know, things there, that even talking to another person from a different culture, you may be saying the same things, but they may be comprehending something completely different than what you're saying because of their cultural understanding too. So there's that as well, which is highly challenging. And I think that's the reason why we have language to begin with, because language makes it very difficult for us to come together. So we have, you know, a world with millions of languages, right? Rather than one world with one language. Now English is becoming that one universal language, which I think is a good thing, just from a standpoint of more and more of us can communicate on the same level, but it's still a long ways to go. I mean, I'm never going to be able to go to China and understand what's going on with China unless I really studied a lot, you know. And even then, I'm still not going to comprehend things that, like a Chinese person would. So, I mean, there are some, as opposed to, you know, European language is a little bit different, but so we got lots of challenges as a world before we come together that way too. So yeah, so any ESP that goes on, which I believe it's happening with the younger generation, that they're more able to communicate without without necessarily talking to each other, which is pretty cool. That'll help also with overcoming the language issues and the spells and all the different nefarious things that have been built into our language.
Yeah, and Mark, I also agree with you with like the spells that's bound to it, and the more you become aware of it, so if you become aware of the spell behind a word, then you can kill the intention behind the main thing. So the more aware you become, the less effect it will have, unless you want it to have that effect. So I think it's also all about the intention once you are aware. Otherwise, it just takes the main spell by default.
It's also
Absolutely.
programming, television programming.
Yeah, it's exactly that. We got programmed by television. You know, channels, right? You know, let's channel. So we're channeling information, except it's propaganda we're channeling. We just didn't know it at the time. And now it's really just all out there and 100% pure propaganda. But some people still believe that it's actually valid and not biased, which is, that's a little, no, I don't understand that. The young kids, though, they all understand that. Most of them understand that things are not what they seem, which is cool. Now they may not pay attention to it because, you know, they're stuck in their 3D world, but they see it. They see it. So there's hope in our younger generation because they do see it. They all see it. I'm gonna move back to my phone, just letting you know. I'm gonna sign off my computer.
Okay. Well, will I do a meditation and a channeling?
I may, you know, so I don't bother you, I may just go ahead and sign off and then listen later. So unless you're okay with me, just I can just turn off my camera and mute.
Yeah, just stay, Mark. Stay and just turn off your camera.
Okay, sounds good. I'll do that.
So I'm just going to turn off my own camera for a minute. Okay, it feels strange without Michael here and Marianne. Okay, so I'm going to do a very quick meditation. I didn't get to recap on the download from today, but I did put it on my Facebook. It's on my YouTube, which I still have, which is surprising because I thought they had taken it down. But they've been pulling a lot of videos recently from my YouTube. And I thought I had lost my channel completely, and then I hadn't, which is great. For now, touch wood. So it is on my YouTube and it's on my Facebook, and I did post it to the group as well. It was a download that I did today, and I did one yesterday or the other day as well, just wishing everyone a happy Christmas. But the one today was about the energies that are affecting starseeds at the moment, and So watch that if you can. It's on my YouTube channel, The Pleiadian Child, or Carol Noonan, The Pleiadian Child. And it's also on my Facebook page, Soma ARah. So I'm going to see if I can okay, connect and do channeling. Just move this here. Oh. So get comfortable, both feet flat on the floor, hands comfortable in your lap, wherever they fall comfortably, back as straight as you can, eyes closed if you want to, both feet flat on the floor. Just get comfortable. Close your eyes if you want to. Take some deep breaths in. In through your nose. Down to the belly. Hold it. And breathe out through the mouth. And do that 2 or 3 or 4 more times. Visualize or see or sense. Archangel Michael to your left. Jesus in front of you. Merlin to your right. Ashtar, Commander, behind you. You also may get an awareness of Mother Mary and Kuan Yin and other female deities or masters. Your own spirit guides, your own loved ones. You may get a sense of okay. Thank you. You may get a sense of a vibration, a frequency, a sound. Oh, just breathe. It doesn't have to be the breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, but just breathe. You may see animal spirit guides or lions or tigers or various big cats or cheetahs or tigers or lions or it's funny how the big cats were such a big part of your history. And yet very little is spoken of this. How they were worshipped and revered. We shared some information today with this one, Soma or Carol, about starseeds, primarily starseeds, and the energies that is thank you, the energies that they're in at the moment. Guys, I wanted to ask you, if anyone comes into the group while I'm channeling, can you please let me know? Or I don't know if you're able to put them on mute, or I'm just, yeah. As we were saying, we shared information with this one earlier today. Primarily about starseeds and the energy they are in at the moment, and will be until January, December and January, where they are where at the time of the downfall of Atlantis, humanity has been interfered with. DNA has been changed, and humanity has been manipulated and controlled and dumbed down. But what we are mostly speaking of is how it's starseeds, and how the starseeds in particular, how these hybrids, let us call them hybrids, let us call you hybrids, how these hybrids have been targeted as a group. And we are speaking of this group in particular, or particularly. And we wish to make this very clear, that we are speaking primarily of starseeds. Forgive Soma for repeating our words. She is doing her best to explain something that is perhaps more complex than is coming across. Thank you. Than is coming across. Perhaps more important than she is able to find the words to explain. So bear with us, bear with her. Since the downfall of Atlantis, starseeds in particular have been targeted. DNA has been changed for all of humanity, but we wish to emphasize again that we are speaking to starseeds now. And the energies for starseeds in December and January are extremely important, for they have been targeted by the negative agenda and the technology they are using in a negative way to curtail or to try and stop the ascension process, which starseeds, you could say that the starseeds are at the forefront of ascension on a soul level, whether they are conscious of it or unconscious of it. Much is happening in the dream time and the astral plane or the higher dimensions, while these hybrids or starseeds are sleeping and resting. These starseeds hybrids have been targeted by negative agenda using different technologies in a negative way, by changing the collective of humanity's DNA, by changing the collective humanity's DNA. But we are particularly speaking of the starseeds as a group or a section of humanity, within humanity. It is important to mention here that they are hybrids. With a mission to be here on your planet now, to do with ascension and the raising of consciousness. This is their mission. This is their purpose. This is their plan. This is our plan. This is we have Sirius assisting us. It is of huge importance, the message we've given this one today. And we will ask you again to bear with her, to bear with us while she relays this information. The starseeds in December and January are being cleared of chemicals, toxins, poisons, nanotechnology. They are being cleaned and cleared from the inside out. This is of huge significance. They are being cleaned and cleared from the inside out. Their blood, their DNA is being cleaned and cleared from the inside out. Their energy is being worked on. Their frequency, their vibration, their soul memories, they are being worked on. In the physical body is being, of these starseeds hybrids, is being worked on from the inside out. The blood, the DNA, the nanotechnology, the poisons, the chemicals, all of those things and more, which we will go on to explain now in a moment, in a minute, in a moment. Everything that a negative agenda has been using to target these individuals, these starseeds, these higher souls that are on your planet, to assist, to bring forth the great awakening of humanity, are significant. They are part of a wider picture, a bigger picture of our history, of your future. They are here to bring great change to your planet. They are hybrids with a purpose, with a mission, and they have been targeted since on your planet, we would like to add, since the downfall of Atlantis. So not only are the poisons, the chemicals, and the toxins being cleaned and cleared from these starseeds in this lifetime, But the previous lifetimes where they have been tracked and traced and raped and murdered and drowned and burned. Oh. Where they have been persecuted, tortured, raped, drowned, murdered, thrown off cliffs. The sacred peoples, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, Native America, Africa, Ireland, Europe, Egypt, Atlantis, the sacred peoples of the earth, are the starseeds in the past, in your past, in the past of the earth, of humanity, the people on earth. These lifetimes of these starseeds are being cleaned and cleared, as well as the physical vehicles. You have been targeted to such a high degree. This is part of the contract, of your soul contract, of humanity's contract. We say humanity loosely because we are referring to, let Soma rephrase that, let us rephrase that we are speaking of starseeds rather than the word humanity, although we will include that loosely, for we are speaking predominantly, primarily, predominantly starseeds. Your slates are being wiped clean. You are being cleaned and cleared, released and recalibrated, as we said earlier, to this one, to Soma. This was signed into your contracts, into your soul contracts, the starseed contracts that you signed, that we signed with others, with other star nations. Contracts were made. This is coming to an end now, and contracts are being dissolved, are being torn up, are being burned. Dates are ending, contracts are ending, new beginnings are coming. We wish that as many people as possible will hear this message. That we are giving now and earlier regarding the starseeds and the release and clearing of energy from within them, as well as the energy of past lives since the downfall of Atlantis is being cleaned and cleared, released, released, recalibrated, cleaned. Your blood, your cells, the poisons, the toxins, all of it. The chemtrails are being cleaned from your bodies. You are being released, freed from the shackles of the negative agendas and their technologies. More importantly, their technologies, the nanotechnology that lays within you. That is not to put fear into you. That is simply to say, You are changing. And the technologies that the negative agenda has used on you in the past is no longer able to affect you or affect you in the way that it once did. Because this is ascension. And your bodies are changing. You are becoming crystalline beings. You are becoming more than humans. You are evolving. You are stepping into a higher dimension. And the negative technologies that have been used on you for so long are becoming are having less of an impact or effect on you. You are so used to them that they are no longer have any effect, almost like medicines that your bodies are so used to. It has no effect on you anymore. Thank you. It is a shift. It is a shift. It is a process. And we hope, we wish that as many starseeds hear this message, and we will share this information with other channels in the coming days, weeks, and months, so that as many channelers for us can share this message. Starseeds are at the forefront of ascension, meaning that, therefore, starseeds are leading the way with the human changing, with the physical body changing, with the crystalline being coming into form. Therefore, starseeds have to go first. It can be no other way. Their bodies are equipped for this process because they are not from here. They have extra codes, extra DNA, extra pieces, extra parts, extra puzzles, extra something that is not from Earth, that their bodies are able to withstand the negative technologies, better able to cope, better equipped to withstand negative technologies, or rather technologies that are used in a negative way, because these technologies could be used for the positive or the negative agendas. This period will last for December and January 2024. Your bodies are changing. The starseeds are moving forward rapidly. We would also like to add that this will become known as a very common process in the future for what is happening to starseeds now. This is not a small message. This is of huge importance. Many of you starseeds, hybrids, may be feeling ill, may be feeling sick, may be feeling nausea, may be feeling under the weather. Some of you will experience this in the extreme, depending on the velocity of the energy hitting you at the moment, and depending on how there are different levels to starseeds. There are different levels to everything. But depending on your soul's capacity to remove, thank you, depending on the depending on the starseed's level of awareness, the soul level, depending on the starseeds, because all starseeds have a different, come from different places and have different awarenesses. You are not all of humanity is at the same level, and in the same way, not all starseeds are at the same level either. Not all starseeds are at the same level. Therefore, there are many groups within groups within groups within groups. There are soul groups, there are starseed groups, there are groups of humanity, there are twin flame groups, there are a numerous amount of groups within groups within groups within different dimensions. And some are able to, like Soma and others, are able to step in and out of different mind states or different dimensions, different awarenesses, different consciousness, whether you are asleep or awake. So depending on the soul's level, whether you are human or starseed or hybrid, which is a combination of both, depending on the level of the soul, the higher the, thank you, the higher the soul level of the starseed, of the hybrid, the more capacity to be free from these technologies that are being used in a negative way. Meaning, the higher, okay. Meaning the higher the soul is advanced, the more advanced the soul is, the more we can clean and clear the internal toxins and poisons, the more that you can also do the same, because we are working in conjunction to do this. And this will become known as a process with a name. It may be called different things in different countries to begin with, but it will become that it will end up with one particular name for this process, or condition is the wrong word. This process that is occurring now will become known with by a single word. We are and we will begin to share this information with other channelers on your planet. This information will come to light over the next 2, 3, 4 years. Rapidly. As we were saying, the higher the soul is advanced, the more capacity it can withstand, the more energy it can withstand to be cleaned and cleared from within internally. That can be intense. So some of you will feel extremely ill. The souls that are less advanced will not feel so ill, which is perfect, and as it should be. We are not judging whether we are simply trying to explain in terms that you will understand. So this process for starseeds now. Okay. Can be intense or mild. Or somewhere in between that scale. From mild to intense. But it is a clearing. It is a process. It is a cleaning of energies. This was put into your soul contracts, and it needed to be that way in order for you to be assisting and of benefit on earth now in the time of great ascension. And this will come to light. This will become this information, this process that will have a name at some point, will become common knowledge amongst you. Have we explained this enough? Do you have questions about this process?
Thank you for bringing this to the forefront in this time. A question that I have that came through as you shared the information is, are there any elemental and chemistry ingredients involved in this process of healing and cleaning, especially if we're leading the way, in order to create the resources to assist humanity further down the line?
Can you please, for Soma, can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, not a problem. So I'll rephrase it as well. In order for us to, if we are at the forefront of ascension and we need to clear our body for this healing and clearing process, are there any elemental or chemistry ingredients or facilitations that we need to incorporate in this clearing process so that we can create a foundation to guide and facilitate future humanity on this path?
There is nothing that you need to do or to take. There is nothing you need to do or to take. This is a process that has been contracted is a good word. That has been contracted, that has been pre-written. There is nothing you need to do other than to surrender. Surrender to the energies you're in. Surrender to the process. Acceptance. Acceptance. Many of you, while you are ill now as starseeds and going through this process, as Soma was, will not be aware of what is happening until after. And that is the way it should be. There is nothing you need to do. It is a process. There are things that may have a gentle or impactful quality or effect on the physical body, but there is nothing you need to do. There is nothing you need to take. It is a process. Surrender is something that would be valuable to do. You will be guided to surrender. You will be guided to accept the body now. As you are going through this process. Does that answer your question enough?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
We would like to add this process will, it has been it has been, thank you, it has been written into the Starseed's contract. So this process cannot be otherwise, cannot be otherwise. This needs to happen in order for Starseeds to assist humanity forward. So this process with your bodies will occur. It will occur. It may feel some of you may have beliefs that let us give you an example. You have the soul here. Let us call it the main soul, which is here on a higher dimension, a higher frequency. And down here, you have you. You have the human soul, which is an aspect of the main soul or the oversoul. It is this main soul or that is more in control or in control of you, and you are an aspect of this. But this is you. This is your human hybrid self here. This soul, this aspect of you, of your higher self, needs nothing. Needs nothing. It matches our frequency more than this aspect of you. There are many aspects of you, but this aspect of you that is on Earth now may feel like it needs something to help this process. The process we have been speaking of. Okay, hold on. Thank you. So your human soul, your human soul may feel like your human body needs something to help, whether it's okay, hold on, whether you're veering off the question. There is so for the higher soul or the main soul, there is nothing that you need. However, for the human you that is in the physical form now on Earth, as a starseed, as a hybrid, even may feel that it sometimes needs something to help the conditions or the environment or the physical form or the human body. That is okay. That is okay to do that. There are, we are showing Soma information. We are showing her that certain sacred herbs and let us call them sacred herbs, hallucinogenics, are very beneficial sometimes when given by shaman or used in the correct manner to gain insights, to gain an awakening, an awareness of other dimensions, to expand the soul's consciousness and awareness. These can be an integral part of awakening, to develop the soul's awareness, to advance the consciousness, to advance your consciousness. Let us pause there and breathe.
Okay. Let me add some clarification or simplification on that. And that is that this process is something which is our destiny and inevitable. And Ruhan, with regards to your question, are there things we can do? The answer is yes. We can do things which align us to receive these energies and these downloads, this evolution, this expansion of consciousness. And those things that we can do, that your own beingness, your own indwelling godliness, your own soul, your own I am, will whisper to you what they are. Like the story you told us earlier, where you were prompted to do an action which proved to be very positive or beneficial, even though there was nothing in the mind that said it was so. And so the things that we can do, and it will vary from each individual, can be many and varied. And it might be to take in more water. It might be to change one's diet so it is more natural or healthy. It might be the action of blessing your water or food. It might be an action of calling to you assistance of beings in the spirit world, or animal guides, or masters, to partner with you, or to use violet flame, or to connect with other souls at a time. And that is something that Carol or Soma did with me when she was going through this. So this process is happening. It's inevitable. It's not something that can be stopped. It is your destiny. And yes, there are things that you can do to make that easier and less disruptive. And those things, you will know what they are.
Thank you, Dennis.
Very good.
Sorry, I had to come out of it and go and get some water. So I missed what happened just then, or what said.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can listen to recording.
Thank you.
Yeah, just something as the main point that Dennis made was that each person is the unique soul talents, their own soul blueprint, knows what to do because it's in their contract. And yeah, after Dennis said, I just took it all in, and basically what was shown to me is that within the field around our physical body, that because it's not physical, it's not in the non-physical and metaphysical, those energies will radiate in, and it will fall into the place that it needs to go. And through those processes, it molds its way into something that only you will understand. And it is unique to you, and not to, you can try to give that step-by-step process to somebody else, but it's not going to work for them because their unique energetic blueprint or their wiring is not the same as yours. So that was what was shown to me.
That works.
That is such a beautiful way to to perfectly describes it. Yeah. We are as unique as our fingerprints. Really, down to the finest. Anything to say to say before I end the recording? Because I kind of feel that it would be nice just to talk amongst ourselves. Anything you guys want to share before we do a after hours?
Something that came through during the channeling, which I had to write down when you spoke about contracts, or when the Pleiadians shared about contracts, is that I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the saying, whoever controls the time controls your life. That's why they changed the calendars in order to control the population. So what came through was time was created to enforce contracts, to set a time span for that. So I'm not sure how deep that goes, but yeah, that came through.
Makes a lot of sense. So hold on, Ruhan. So you got that as a download while I was channeling?
Yes. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, but specific what I wrote here is, time was created to enforce contracts. Who controlled time controls your life.
Yeah, I think that's really important, and I think that's Pleiadian's way. I gonna close my eyes a bit. Because something I forgot to mention earlier was about time, and I think that's the Pleiadian's way, because I know that you connect to the Pleiadians. I know that Dennis does as well. But and I'm glad we're still recording, because this is really important, and it hasn't really sometimes I forget important stuff. So I didn't really share this today at any point about time, but I think that's the Pleiadians' way of reminding me as well about time. Because when I was the last week that I've been ill, it's actually really felt like it's been much longer than it actually was. And I've been feeling that for quite a number of years, where time feels okay, where time feels different, like it can feel like longer than it really is, or it can feel shorter than it really is. And that is, I'm very aware of that when I'm in a meditation or in a channeling, or half in between being asleep and awake, or even asleep sometimes. But this particular week where I've been really ill, it has felt much longer. It's felt like weeks, you know, and it's only been, I can't believe that it's only been a week. It just feels incredible to me that so I mean, we know there's no such thing as time, and it's very different in the true reality, or in a higher awareness. Time is very different to what we believe it is, what we believe it is on Earth. But I found it's been very intense lately when I was ill. The time, the awareness of time has been really intense, where it really felt like I could swear it was longer than a week, because I so I think the reality of time for us is changing rapidly. It is changing. We're coming away from so much. We're coming away from the matrix. We're coming away from all systems. We're coming away from the teachings within those false systems about time, about the reality on Earth is false. Time is false. So I don't know, is there anything, Dennis, do you want to add to any
Yeah, time is very interesting. When we are in suffering or pain, then we are in a lower emotion, and with that we are in lower frequency and vibration, and in that condition time is slower, and the lower we go, then time becomes so slow that it stops and people are trapped. And then the higher emotion that we have, then we are at higher frequency and emotion, and then time speeds up. And then when we get to the highest of emotional states, being bliss or ecstasy, then there is time moves so quickly that it doesn't exist. And then one is only in the now and no time. So you have that scale there. And when one raises one's frequency,
no,
and particularly when we move from third dimension to fifth dimension, and we go into this expanded consciousness and spirit realm, then we become creators of time. So in this no time, it's not something that we get trapped in, it's something we're able to create. So we're able to be cause over time and make time that we want to do what we want. So lower emotion slows time, higher emotion speeds up time, the lowest emotion stop time so it becomes a trap, prison, jail. The highest emotion has time move so fast that it doesn't exist and there's no time. But then we are outside the matrix and we are creators of time and can create the time that we wish.
Yeah, I can sense that completely. I mean, especially with like the more dense energies they are, the slower the day gets as well. The picture that I was shown as you spoke is an elastic band. The more tension there is, the more emotional charge there is, the further it's going to go, the faster time will be. And lower density or lower energies means that you only take it halfway and then it only moves a short distance, and we perceive time to go slow. Yeah.
Yep. So in the lower emotion and lower density, we get trapped by time. In higher emotion, higher dimension, we escape time. We move out of time. And rather being in time, it's something that we create.
I can really feel the energies from this channeling really pumping through tonight.
Hmm. Yep, I'd agree with that. Is there anything, Ruhan or Dennis, that you'd like to share for people listening at a future time, or to say, or anything at all?
I will say that we are in an exciting and blessed time, and there is much change coming, and that change might be a bit startling and uncomfortable and uncertain, but the change that is coming is an expansion of consciousness. It is going to be bringing more of the Christ light into the planet and the collective. There is an expansion of consciousness, which is going to be an increase in compassion and love. And that is going to change the systems on the planet. So there will be more justice and peace. And that is the journey that we are on. And I'll go with Elon Musk's tweet, LFG 2024, let's freaking go. That's it.
Don't censor yourself, Dennis.
That's enough. So
What
Happy
I
New
would
Year,
like
everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah, Happy New Year. And Ruhan, thank you, Dennis.
Yeah. One thing that, one aspect that's coming through that I would like everybody to understand, well, not understand, to really feel in and what it means to you, is that we, in this physicality, one thing that we are extremely good at is adapting. We are one of the only creatures that easily adapt to different environments, and as Dennis said, change is inevitable. It's coming. And the more we embrace change and see which areas in our life also is ready for change and spark that, influence it into the direction that your higher self is guiding you towards. Because there is a lot of distractions out there as well. Just know that your higher self will always pull you back to the road that you need to be. And yeah, whatever you feel to do, and that you really feel that you should do it, then do it. If not, then that's also okay. You'll always have another opportunity to do so. And just remember also, intention is key, and you have the ability to cognize who you need to be whenever the need arises. So yeah, enjoy 2024 and make it yours.
Beautiful.
Bravo.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you both for
You're
sharing.
most welcome.
I'm just totally blissing out here in the energies I've been in today. And I just can't believe how rapidly I've turned around. I mean, I don't know. I think it was about a week ago. Was it? No, it was on the Friday. What day are we today? Monday. So it was Friday a week ago. So not 2 days ago, but the Friday previously. I was coming down the stairs and my landlord was there. And I fell down the stairs. My legs gave way. And maybe I passed out for a split second. I was gone, but a split second. So short that I didn't even notice it. And then I was on the ground and I just lay there because I didn't have the energy to get up. So like I was really sick. And then I think it was the next day or the next couple of days. No, it was the next couple of days. Dennis was here and a similar thing happened. But it was much worse. And I just can't believe how rapidly it just seems it's crazy. Like the turnaround, it's just incredible.
Yeah, it's fascinating. One of my friends and somebody that I know also, he just passed out of nowhere. He was fine, and the next minute he just also passed out, and also just for a brief moment, and it was within last week.
I think that in the coming days and weeks and months, like they said, I think there will be a lot of people coming forward and who are right now very ill or passing out or illnesses, and I think there'll be a lot of people coming out and sharing what's been happening for them. And it is a small world. It really is a small world. How is your friend doing now?
He's doing better, but there's still a lot of clearing that is taking place and that still needs to take place. So I think it's all part of that release and to restart the system and get it going. Because I know I've had a couple of times where when I do breath work, it just comes to a point when you take the energy up from your spine all the way to the top, and then once it passes through your head, that moment is as if you just like lose connection, and it's like a reboot that takes place. And then it's like not even 2 seconds, but it feels like you've been out for 10 minutes. So yeah, I feel that if you do pass out in such a sense that it's your body and your energetic body, like rebooting your system.
That explains it really well. You could send love to your friend, especially when you're with him. Because that makes such a difference.
Very good.
Okay,
I think this has come to an end. So you can put it close to the recording.
let me, okay, let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing.